no golfers out.
That's how hard up we are.
Oh, wow. They'll be out here another half hour? Okay, we're getting started a minute or two late here this morning. The reason why is we just got an update from Homer Smith. He passed out yesterday and is in the hospital today. So,
Drinking again, huh?
I guess. I don't know why he went out without us. But at any rate, he's expecting to come home from the hospital today after a couple more tests. We're glad to hear that. He's been a regular here as long as we've been here. So, anyway, let's see. Why don't we bow for a moment of prayer? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come here again and perform service to this wonderful nation, the nation that was created with recognition of you as our Creator and the source of all of our rights, all of our sources of happiness, all of our wealth, and especially the wealth of our friends and neighbors and family. Add to our joy this morning as we meet with our friends and neighbors. Give us the strength for the job that lies ahead, the perseverance to see it through, and the wisdom to succeed. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Cody, how about your traditional service of leading the Pledge of Allegiance? You know, oftentimes parents don't tell the kids that they're really proud of them. But I'm going to take about 15 seconds here to say that I'm really proud of Cody. When he was in the Boy Scouts, he earned the Order of the Arrow, which I never did. And it's because he's so thoughtful. He's always glad to help.
Now, if y'all follow me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a seat?
I want to do a couple quick shout-outs there. One is to the Thomas Jefferson Knowledge Institute. This weekend we'll be delivering to the Ohio Senate a copy of the original intent to each of the senators on behalf of the Thomas Jefferson Knowledge Institute, which paid for the books. Also, we'll be giving copies of the 5,000-year lead to all the state representatives that have been newly elected. We delivered a copy of that book to all of the state representatives in the last term, and there are a few different ones this year. We'll get them their copy, regardless of party. So, Thomas Jefferson Knowledge Institute has a table out here in the hallway right now. Judy Bluter and Larry Funk frequently work the table. Wait, Larry. Not everybody knows that. Anyway, so they usually have books to sell, and one thing they're doing right now is free showings of the movie Frack Nation down in Wadsworth. Try to educate people about the energy situation, about fracking in particular. We have copies of the DVD that we've been given to sell for $20 a piece. So if you'd like a copy of the movie for yourself, feel free. If anybody wants to put on a viewing of the movie in Medina or Brunswick, let us know. We'll just give you the DVD. Judy knows how it's done because I've been doing it down here in Wadsworth. So these are some of the things we do to help educate the uninformed voter. Another thing is to go after the young people that went for Obama in a big way this past election. Not as bad as in 2008, but still unacceptable. And one of the things we've been wanting to do is form a young Republican or other conservative chapter here in Medina. We just had a meeting Thursday night. Larry, you want to say a couple words about that?
I will, yes, thank you. There is now a Young Republicans Club in Medina County. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but they are meeting regularly for at least the next 7 months. They're scheduled to meet 4th Thursdays of every month, beginning in April, at BW3's in Medina. If you know someone between the ages of 18 and 40 who have Republican leanings, well, or don't have Republican leanings, maybe we can convert them, or they can convert them. I'm having a terrible time getting rid of that we pronoun because I don't qualify. So I'm out of that age group, and I've got to wean them away and learn to let them make their decisions. And I think we have a group that is capable of doing that. So there is one.
Right, and you're working on a group with teenage Republicans too, right?
That's correct. Hopefully that will be some pacification for me, weaning myself away from the young Republicans to try to get a teenage group going here in Medina. And there is some interest in that sort of thing. It's just a matter of they need some supervision and guidance, I guess is the word. They don't lack for enthusiasm. Guidance and enthusiasm they need, and we'll see if we get provided that for you.
I have a question for Larry. Do you have a webpage for the young Republicans?
Not yet.
Okay.
It will
Because I do know
happen.
some people might be stupid, you know how the kids are, they want to see it on a webpage.
That's correct, I understand that. I can tell you that for those people who are interested in that sort of thing, they can look up, it's OhioYRs.org.
Ohio.
YRs.org, and I forget whether there's a dash between Y and R or not. Seems like there is.
But that, YRS?
YR apostrophe S, yeah.
Apostrophe S, okay.
And if you don't get that, give me a call or give me a shout, or if you want my email address, I can give that to you, and I'll verify that, because I'm calling that from memory. My memory is good, but it's just not real long.
But they are working on getting a local webpage?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay, so that's a new thing for us to try to promote. We're going to try to get that on Medina events. Also put a recurring event on our meetup site. Yes.
Just real quick earlier, just a quick comment, something I received this week. A friend of mine retired from the military, just got out 180 days ago, served in 4 wars, whatever. He he works with oil rigs, refurbishing oil rigs. He's up in Williston, North Dakota. And here people are fighting to get a job at Walmart. Right there, they can't find anybody to work at Walmart. He showed me a picture, prepare of necessities, milk, and some bread, because it's also, because $20 an hour jobs are just so common out there. There's zero unemployment because of their fracking that's successfully done again out there. So, again, do this to educate some that haven't seen it. The population is thriving.
Right. Good to know. All right. Hey, we've got some things going on here. If you see something that's not going on, you want to go on, just don't let anybody stop you. Just get involved and get going on. You'll find the support. Be sure to help us promote the youth movement. Let's see. Also, we have a Act of Cleveland that was here about a year ago, talking about their efforts, and we have a representative with us today to update us. So, got about 5 minutes to find out what's going on there.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dan Murad. I live over in Parma, and I took over Act for America, the Cleveland chapter, from Paul Fry, who was here, I don't know, a year or two ago, giving a talk about radical Islam. And I wanted to fill you in on something that's going on that most people aren't aware of just yet. It seems that the UN has big plans for our country, whether it be the global gun ban or Agenda 21 or whatever. They're coming out with something else. The OIC is the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. It's 57 Islamic countries, and led by Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and the rest. They are working with our State Department, mainly Hillary, in the last year or two, on something called the Istanbul process, where they're going to try to have a UN resolution, it's called UN 16/18, brought to bear and affect our country. What it will do is criminalize the denigration of religion. Well, it's all about creeping Sharia. What it means is we won't be able to talk about Islam. Well, the tricky part there is Islam is a religion, is true, but it is also a political system. And so they're going to try to bring that to bear upon us. And Act for America is going to start making everybody aware of this. Come Monday night, they're having a nationwide webcast on their website, which is actforamerica.org. And it'll go from 7:30 to 9:30. On their website, there is a ton of information about this. And people will say, well, you can't do that here. Well, okay, I would like to believe, as do they, but as we've seen a lot of strange events here in the last 10 years, who knows what's going to happen within the next 10 years. And the fact that our State Department is involved with this is somewhat scary. So I wanted to make you aware of it. At some point, I'll be back to talk about other things, the Muslim Brotherhood's influence in our government, which is a whole other subject. You'll see information on ACT's website about that as well. I'm going to start hosting meetings over in Rexville. I believe either at the library or at the rec center, because I'm a member of the Cuyahoga Valley Republicans as well. And that'll happen in April. If you want to join my organization, ACT Cleveland, I can be reached at actcleveland@gmail.com. That's the same email address that the previous gentleman had. And again, the website for Act for America is actforamerica.org. And I realize it's short notice, but they just put this together within the last week or so. I went out to talk to Westlake 2 weeks ago and informed Lorraine and other people around town, so that's pretty much all I have.
What's the website that they're going to have
the webinar? There's a link on their main page. It's www.actforamerica.org. This is Brigitte Gabriel's organization based in Virginia. You might have seen her on Fox News. She talks about radical Islam and has, Wally Ferris, the Sudi Jasser. They work hand in hand with the Center for Security Policy in Washington. Frank Gaffney's group, who's done presentations up in the Cleveland area. And it's just, we're trying to stop creeping Sharia into our country, because it's happening everywhere in Europe at an alarming rate. Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Now, the Istanbul process, the little bit I do understand at this point, it's supposed to be some sort of a compromise between our State Department and them. Well, they can't stop us from talking about Islam, but if it incites violence, then it's going to be a problem. So, that's very arbitrary at this point. What does that mean? Just because we talk about Islam today and one person goes out and offends a Muslim, does that mean we're all liable for something? So it's a very gray area, but that'll be explained in detail on this webcast. And for those, I think, if you can't make it Monday night, or can't watch it Monday night, there was a push amongst us chapter leaders to have them keep that on their website at some point, so you got to go back on it and watch it, which they should be able to do, I believe. So, yes?
Yeah, well, why don't you have Jim put that up on the meetup so that everybody gets to look at that website?
Sure, that'll be great. I'll give them the information later. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Dan. All right, there's a lot on our plate, and my heart goes out to the nation of Israel right now. It's scary times. Do we have any guests here for the first time? Can I see some hands? Just a few. All right. Glad you could join us. What you see is what you get. We're a conservative grassroots organization. We have a big tent. We allow a variety of views to be expressed from the podium, not necessarily our views. But it is a public forum. public forum and a private meeting, so we do have the right to eject people if they get out of hand. Usually what happens is somebody comes in to do opposition research on one of our elected officials, which has a very chilling effect on their ability to tell us what we'd like to be told. So we keep wrapped on a little bit. One other thing is we try to make sure that everybody recognize that we have speakers that have come to speak, and when somebody takes the opportunity to give their own impromptu speech from the floor, it consumes some of the time that others have to speak and to ask questions and answers. So we hope that everybody kind of keeps the private speeches down until after the meeting. Okay, and the fanzine. At any rate, do we have any other announcements we need to make before we get started with our guest speaker? Yes, Scott.
Good.
Oh,
I just want to make people aware, I don't know if you saw Glenn Beck, he found they infiltrated schools in Texas and they're rewriting history. I mean, it was just shocking the way they're rewriting things. It's their point of view, capitalism is bad, conservatism is bad. They rewrite World War II, they take out General Bradley, and General Patton is no longer in the history they're teaching. They make Paul Revere. They make Paul Revere seem like he's some sort of drug lord or something like that. And
I don't know what's wrong with that.
Your voice is too soft. You gotta have a voice.
yeah, I don't want to offend too many people that way. But I just want to make sure people aware. You should go on the Blaze and look at this. I mean, this is amazing. They're teaching they're not indoctrinating our kids. They're leading them down the road to slavery because they're going to tell them one point of view and everything else is bad. No longer to be proud of America or Texas, to be a citizen of the world.
Right.
So
And we will be discussing this at our next meeting as well.
Right, next week,
Yep.
next meeting, 2 weeks from today, is Kelly Coles with the Ohio School Board Leadership Council, and we'll be discussing education in K-12. Battery dead on that, Lisa?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yes.
In that video on his website, it talks about how the kids, there's like 2 or 3 kids voted for CNN, and at least a dozen or so voted his mom. That's part of it too. You mentioned about getting young Republicans to make them aware of what they're being indoctrinated in. Whitewashed, 14 figures of violence in the Western world is being whitewashed. Voting, kids don't have a clue. It's all about the plan that they have to take over the
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely.
EMC event will be coming in Chicago.
Good enough. Anyway, it's been a while since we've heard from the Buckeye Institute of Public Policy Solutions. That's a nonprofit, nonpartisan research and education institute, pretty much the premier think tank in Ohio. Sometimes they get a little bit of trouble with the governor for telling it like it is, but then that's why we like to hear from them. Our guest speaker this morning is the current president of Buckeye Institute, Robert Alt, and he's a regular contributor to National Review Online, has produced a number of articles to various blogs. He's been a commentator on CNN, Fox News, PBS. Before joining Buckeye, he was director of the Rule of Law program and senior legal fellow at Heritage Foundation in Washington. He's still a visiting senior fellow at Heritage, and you can't get much better than that. So with that introduction done, I'd like to invite Robert Alt to share with us what he knows.
Thank Jim and Lisa for inviting me to come in here today. So, I recognize I must have good coffee here, otherwise, I mean, you know, y'all would be just here for me. You know, I spent about 5 years in Medina, so it's good to be back. I was here from about 2003 to 2008. I didn't make it to, I don't know that I made it to Valley City all that often, but when I back in 2004, I served as an embedded war correspondent for National Review over in Iraq. And I had taken over with me, a friend had given me a Valley City frog jumping t-shirt, which was the brightest shade of green you've ever seen. I mean, this was, I understand that hunter green is supposed to be the only color that does not occur in nature. I'm reasonably sure this color green doesn't occur in nature either. So I had this over there, and at one point I was in Baghdad, and I was leaving for several weeks to do an embed up near Crete, and I had to leave some bags with me. I couldn't take everything with me. When I came back, a number of things had been stolen from my bags, and one of the items was the Valley City Frog Jumping t-shirt. So if you see at some point that someone has blown something up in Iraq and they're wearing that frog jumping t-shirt, you'll know where it came from. So, as you mentioned, I'm the president of the Buckeye Institute, and we like to say, what, having come from the Heritage Foundation, what we like to say is we're trying to make it the heritage for Ohio. We provide, the hard-hitting research on the topics of the day, trying to provide real solutions. What I wanted to chat with you all about today, and I'm sure that there may be other topics which will come up in Q&A, is the question of Medicaid expansion. And this is something that all the states have the decision as to what they're going to have to do. Ohio is confronting that particular question right now. So before I get into sort of the brass tacks of it, why is it we have to make this decision at all? And that of course goes to the Medicaid expansion is part of Obamacare, and the fact that we have a choice as a state as to whether to sign it or not goes back to the litigation, goes back to the lawsuit against Obamacare. And in that lawsuit, Ohio joined 26 other states to sue the federal government. Now it's interesting because there were a few different parties to the case. Well, one of the parties was the National Federal